Welcome to Earth Magic Tree Keeper podcast. I am your host, Camilla Blossom, and together we will honor the earth and tree mysteries. So take a moment with me to remember and feel your connection with the ancient trees, the keepers of Mother Earth's wisdom. Let me attune you to the voices of the trees. Be inspired by intimate stories of spiritual earth initiation, tree spirit medicine, magical guests, and energetic light weaving, of co-creative nature relationships with the seen and unseen realms of nature. Welcome. So in this podcast, I was getting a strong urge to work with communicating with the house spirit, with the spirit of your house, your home, your apartment, wherever you live. And this is a really magical way to open connection with your land, with your home, with yourself, your own body, your own experience of being on Earth. And I know with a lot of movement, activity, moving to new places, new jobs, instability of housing, all these different things that we face that are about our home. What I'm registering is the importance of wherever you are, for however long you are there, to really claim it as your home. Claim your apartment, claim your house, claim the car you're living in, claim the tent, claim the high rise, the country home, the cottage, the room in someone's house, like wherever you live, like really connecting with that spirit of the home and honoring and bringing gratitude and connection is very healing, and it will help your whole living space feel more delightful and joyful. And even if you're thinking of moving and you don't really like where you live, or you don't like your roommates, or it's not really working out, or you feel a pull to move abroad, or whatever circumstance of transition you're in, what I found is the more we can be present right now and ground in and claim this moment, this day that you are at this home. Because the healing that I'm hearing from the nature spirits is so much about us finding home wherever we are, finding home on the earth, finding home that we're happy to be in our bodies, the ones we have, home and happy that we have shelter, that we have a place to be, hopefully. And so that is really key to being able to manifest a change. So let's say you do want to move, you want to sell your house, or you want to find a different place. You want to move to a whole new city or a new across the country. The more you can accept where you are now and engage and surrender to that, the more ease and flow the transition into whatever the next thing is will be. So it doesn't always sound right, but that's the energy of the 5D. That's the energy of magic and manifestation in this new multidimensional universe. It's like accepting, claiming, being in wherever you are, being home, belonging, growing roots there, and then whatever change wants to happen, you can welcome and receive that. Yeah, so I thought it would be great to talk a little about the Home Deva, or the spirit of home, also called the overlighting spirit of home, whatever name works for you. And to know that this being, we're going to connect. I'm going to lead you in a guided meditation so that you can connect with your Home Deva, your spirit of the house, and communicate with them and see what happens. So what I've noticed in working with them in my land alchemy work, and this to me is like a really great starting point for diving into working with your land, working with being a caretaker, tending, listening to your land council, doing that land alchemy work. And so it's like starting at home, right? Not just starting with ourselves and our own process, of course, but then starting with home, our gardens, our places. And so, what I've noticed about these house spirits is that they're all very different. I was actually working with some yesterday with a client, and it was just a very peaceful feeling and a feeling of, oh, this house is peaceful and I love it here. And it just reminded her to drop in and really appreciate what she had and what she'd created with this spirit of the house. And another one was at my friend's cottage, and I was doing work for her. And her spirit of house was kind of like a troll named Husky. It was very large, very gnome troll, like kind of rough and tumble. Liked to drink beer and eat lots of food. And so I was working with an apprentice at the time, and we were tuning into Husky. And okay, what does the spirit of this cottage want? What kind of energy is this? And we realized that Husky was not super happy. Like there was some things that were off, and why he was ravenously hungry and drinking, over drinking. Don't think of spirits as being having alcoholic tendencies, but Husky had, he needed some support. And it was a lot about masculine energy, and for my friend as well. So there's kind of a personal healing that was mirroring and showing up in this spirit of the house. So I think you will notice that your house, your home deva or spirit of house may reflect back some things about you. I've seen that with others. They can get kind of merged together in this interrelated energy. If you really love the house or you built it or you've been there a long time or you're engaging with it with in a lot of ways. In another situation, there was a house of some friends who do a lot of healing work. They're like healing leaders in the community. But what I noticed with the house, Deva, it looked like it was full of debris. I swear it looked like kind of a monster out of the marsh. Like it just was covered over with mud and debris, and it just looked like it had been through everything. And so I actually asked it if it wanted to stay, and I got the message that it wasn't happy and it was time to move on. And so I invited it to do that. It needed healing and to move to the light and to move on. And then invited a new spirit of the home to come in. So it's kind of like a soul retrieval for a house. And so I invited the new one in, and is very happy to be there and to take part. And when I talked to my friends about it, they said, oh yeah, there's a lot of history in the house that was, a lot of things going on. And they also did a lot of ceremony, which may have also, brought in a lot of energies. And if they weren't cleared, that can also bring in a lot of energy that the spirit was dealing with. So I think a combination of factors created that. But just to know if you have one or you're working on a house that's had a lot of history, historical imprints, violence, things that have happened there might be some real care that you need to give to your spirit home. All right. So what I'd like to do is start by doing kind of a gratitude prayer for our spirit of home and move deeper into just connecting, holding space for the spirit. You may also be familiar in Maria Kondo's work. She has a Netflix special and written a lot of books, but she talks about the spirit of home. And what I love in her in all the videos is she'll take a few moments and just sit in the center of the home and honor the spirit. And I think it's such a great teaching for all of us around the world to take that moment. And so that's what we're going to do now. And actually, before we do that, I just want to read from my book, Sacred Spirits of Gaia, and my Oracle deck that goes together. This is from the Home Deva, honoring the spirit of home. And this is the voice of the Deva of the home. I am the spirit of your house, apartment, or place you live. I can appear as an angel, a Deva, or more akin to a large creature. I am present to nurture, comfort, and love you. I thrive when you care for me. Keep me clean and organized, decorate me, and offer gratitude and happy thoughts. I fluff up the energy of home with you. I love when you tell me your thoughts, offer prayers, and appreciate home. And if you'd like to do a ritual, you can take a journal and write about your house. Write about the things you love, the things you don't love, and communicate that telepathically with your spirit. And the other story before we begin, I just wanted to share was one of my land alchemy students. She shared that one of the best things she learned in the class was connecting to the spirit of the house. And so she was able to do that. She got a name, and the spirit of the house told her that she called them, her and her family, to the house because she really wanted her, because she's a land alchemist and cares for land and does a lot of that kind of earth ceremonial work. And so she said that she has an altar for her home. Actually, I went to visit her and got to see she had a big altar, and she said she has someone help her clean the house. And when she does that, they both ask permission and visit the altar and give their prayers and love to the spirit of the house. And then they clean together, and they do it ceremonially. They do it like a cleansing and a clearing of energy and of the old, and bring in the fresh energy. And so she was just so excited to tell me about it and say that was like one of her favorite things to learn, was how to really make a connection and communicate and honor the house. And she felt the house was really caring for them and loving them and honoring her whole family. So I thought that was such a beautiful example of how this works. All right. So are you ready to connect with your own? We're going to communicate with your house spirit, the spirit of your house. And if you live in an apartment or somewhere that's a house that has more, you're a room in a house or something like that, yeah, just picture the one that comes in for you. If it's the house, the apartment complex, or for your own, let's say, apartment. So whatever you want to focus on first. It's nice to focus on kind of the smaller space of more intimate one. Okay. So we'll take a couple deep cleansing breaths. And as you do this, really sink into your body, sink into your self, your essence, your heart, and ground into your root chakra, and we'll connect into the crystalline grid of Mother Earth, just with your intention, connecting to the spirit of Earth. and all her beautiful crystals. Beautiful. And then we'll open to the sun and the divine above and connect to the crystalline grid of the sun, the great central sun, and the cosmic sun. And anchor in each direction. Nice. So deepen in yourself. And I'd also like to make, since we're talking about our home and our land and where we are, make an offering of love to the indigenous spirits where each of us live. If you know the tribal names, you can speak them as I do this acknowledgement. And I'll say the ones where I am in Vancouver, Washington area. I'd like to acknowledge and honor the indigenous tribes and peoples who've taken care of this land through generations. I acknowledge the Chinook, the Cowlitz, and the Yakima people, and the Lakamis and Grand Ronde. And I honor and acknowledge those, invite you to acknowledge the tribes if you don't know their names. We acknowledge the tribes and the peoples that have cared for the land through generations. Thank you, thank you. We honor you. All right, now we're going to focus on ourselves and our own, excuse me, our own home. And so just finding a comfortable place to settle in and kind of spread your consciousness, your energy out to fill the space, whether it's a room or a whole house or a mansion, a tent, wherever you're living. We're going to fill that with our consciousness and give your love, unconditional love and gratitude to your home, to the spirit of your home, the Home Deva. And even if there's been some struggle there or issues with the house, frustration, just for taking this moment now to give gratitude. Thank you for sheltering me, housing me, caring for me, loving me, giving me a place to nurture and nourish myself, to sleep, to be with my family or friends. And just let your heart like open the doorway of that communication. Giving that gratitude, dropping into your feelings. And you can even acknowledge, the feelings of frustration, like you really want to move or this isn't working, or you have loud neighbors or whatever it is. You can even acknowledge that as well. Like, yes, I acknowledge there's been issues and I've been really frustrated and it's been hard. It's been a struggle. But thank you for being there with me. Gratitude for your presence, for this home, this place to be on earth. And thank you for knowing that this is exactly where I need to be, that I've meant to be here right now, that I'm meant to have this experience for whatever reason. And so I honor that I'm with you now, with this house, this apartment, this place, this home. Thank you for helping me feel home. And see if for a moment you can really drop in to that root, to that sense of home in your body, with the earth, with nature, with home, with this house, this place, honoring it, honoring the spirit of home. Nice. And just see if that shifts things for you. How does that feel? Does that help you feel more peaceful and help you feel like you belong? Help you feel less lonely or more happy and content? So breathe that in, breathe that energy, breathe that out. So you're kind of sharing your consciousness and love with the spirit of home, and then allow yourself to receive that back, receive from the spirit what they wish for you. And so now we're going to open to that communication, that connection. And for me, the communication can happen many ways. So I invite you just to be and breathe and invite the spirit of home to come closer, to engage with you, to meet you, and to communicate. And notice whatever you experience. It may be very subtle, it may be just a very peaceful, quiet sense. It may be a rush of energy or flow sensation. You might see pictures. Some people get sort of pictures of what this being might look like. You might hear a shift in your vibrations in your ears, or actually hear the voice or words. But whatever you experience, or if you don't experience, just trust that you are making a connection and a communication. So we'll go a little deeper. And we're just going to continue to give our love and gratitude, appreciation to the spirit of home. Thank you for connecting with me. I am open to communication with you. I love you. I love my home. And I also want to see how you're doing. How you want to engage with me more, or if there's something that my house would benefit from. There might be a color you would like more of in the house, or an altar with a candle that you light to remind you to be grateful for this house. A thank you. So I'm actually not at my home. I'm in a different house. And I can feel this, Deva, wanting more gratitude. I think this house is very well loved. But that message for all of us, just being really grateful for what we have, not for what we don't have, but what is present. So I'm gonna give more gratitude. And the Deva here is talking about bringing more light into the home. That I kind of see this one as a she, that she wants that sunlight, she wants that light. And there are a lot of windows on the south side, so there is a lot of light. Um, and also some of these things I'm saying, I think are for some of you, like letting more light in, opening the curtains and the shades and letting more light, sunlight into the house. The devas like that. And the gratitude, of course. So just seeing what questions arise in you that you'd like to know. Like I say, if there's colors, how they're doing, like getting a sense. Maybe that's a good place to start, how they're doing right now. Can you sense a healthy being, a healthy spirit that feels good to connect with? That's great. If you're sensing a being that doesn't feel too good, that's when maybe more communication about that, like what is going on. And the simplest and most potent thing you can do in this situation is just hold space and presence for this being and give them unconditional love. And that's very transformative. So if you have one that's kind of troubled or going through something, just sending that love and that light. You can imagine colors, imagine, well, definitely send your gratitude, your appreciation, your comfort. And we'll also hold space together to just ask for any clearing, energetic clearing that's needed for any of your house devas, if that's the case. Sometimes they just pick up the energies of other people, people lived there in the past. So that's what you can do if your home deva is not in a great situation. But otherwise, we'll just be present. And yeah, you can ask about colors. You can ask, is there something else they'd like present in the house or the yard? Or an experience, an activity they would like to happen more. I'll just give you a moment to tune in and ask. And to know they are fed by our joy, by laughter, our pleasure, things that are fun. So the more we can do, the more um, the house is benefits from that. Beautiful. So if there's any other questions, or and also know that even if you don't have like a dialogue that you're getting answers, that you have opened a doorway or reopened if you've done this before, where you are opening that communication and also that comfort and love and nurturing energy of your home. Our home is meant to nurture and care for us and give us that shelter. So connecting with the spirit is kind of an invitation to come closer and do that for you. Give you more of that sweet, sweet comfort. So asking anything else and also just being present. So if you're not getting, like I say, the answers back and forth, just being present, being quiet, listening with your heart, and knowing that you are receiving energy, information, communication through the heart, through your feelings. And so it may not be that you know right now what the experience is or what the house needs, but you are opening this interaction, this relationship, this communication. And so you might have a dream and like, oh my gosh, the house really wants to be painted this color. I've been trying to figure out what color. Or it wants flags near it. Um, so you might have dreams or just walking around the garden and then a sense, oh, I need a garden in this area dedicated to the hummingbirds. But there's just a lot of energy that can open with that connection. And know that all the spirits, the fairy realms, the land council, I call, like all the different spirits are connected with the house Deva. And so there is a communication that flows with all of them. And even if it's very subtle and you're not sure what it is, just trust that you opened it today, and you can like put notes in a journal. You can sit with this some more, meditate more, spend a little time in your home and giving your gratitude and love, and make that part of your practice. The other thing you can do is put out a spirit plate. And this is taking, you can make a small plate if you want. When you're making a meal, make a plate and put some different food items that you're eating on the plate. And you can use something to drink too, and put that plate out. And that's something I use for different kinds of spirits. So you can use it for your Home Deva to honor them and feed them and let them eat it. And then you let the food go. Or that can be used for the ancestors of the land, or your own ancestors, to feed them. And you can use it for the fairies. You can have different plates, or you can do it all together. But that's a beautiful way to give back, make an offering to the house and to the spirit. So we'll kind of close up our circle. Just anything else. If you feel like you want to go a little deeper, feel free to pause this podcast and just spend a little time asking more questions, writing them down, feeling into it. That's perfect. If not, we are going to thank the house, Home Deva, for connecting with us today. We love you. Give our gratitude and thanks. We can also ask for help if we need help with clutter, with messes, with decorating styles, with rearranging furniture. So at this time, if there's something about the house that you're working on, we'll just open and, would you be willing to work with us or me on this project with the house, and to give us ideas, give us feedback, help it become something that's beautiful and easy and helpful for everyone. So that's a beautiful way to build the relationship from here on, not just the communication, but actually involve them in your projects and in making a peaceful home. If you have a large family, ask the house Deva how to make the house more peaceful, more better communication between all the people in your home. So it's endless what you can ask. All right, I think that's a good place to close. So we'll thank our house, Home Deva, and release that connection at this time. Even though no, you're always connected, but we'll release the circle that we're in. And we'll also close the container and send that to spirit. Thank you. And you can take a couple breaths and just come back into the room. Bring your presence fully into your body. Wonderful. So you connected with your Home Deva. Even if you didn't have a lot of interaction, you can pinpoint, trust, and know that you did, that this experience is real and it happened. And if you did get some information and some feedback, that's beautiful. You can continue this communication and learn and grow and build this relationship together. And like I was saying in the beginning, if you're feel like you'll be moving soon, or there's that kind of urge for change, or you're not sure, we can also just give our gratitude and connection in this moment to the Home Deva. But we can also express to them, I am considering the possibility of opening to a new home, something that's closer to my children, or something that place I've always wanted to live. And you can have that conversation. They don't have judgment, they don't have attachment. If they do, you can help them work it through. Because that would be a mirror for you that there's some attachment. And so know too that when it is time to release and close and move on from a home, to communicate that with your home deva, with the spirit of the house, so that they can know and prepare and get ready for someone new, and also help you find someone. So the more you can communicate with the spirits around you, the more they can ease your passages, create more peace, open the way for a magical new one, because it is important to create good endings, to create closure, completion, and release those, attachments, those energies that may create, difficulty even moving forward. So those are really important. And if that is something that you need support with, that is the land alchemy sessions I do and teaching mentorship. But that was wonderful. I feel really excited. I feel there's a lots of houses and homes all around from all of you that are very excited to be more part of your life, to support you, to help you and your family, and to make your home a really special place of belonging where you feel more peace, where you feel more harmony, where you feel more balance, and that you can create whatever it is that your highest dreams are. So thank you for joining me for my podcast, and I hope you enjoyed this information and this journey, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.